Rowan is not a well-known figure in Victorian gay history. Neither is Mac Ronan, the man behind the pseudonym, but he deserves a great deal of credit for the work that he did, mostly as a quiet achiever. In the 1960s, he was one of those that organised the Queen's birthday picnics, which were extravagant events for the camp, as we said at the time, community. Annual gatherings of women and men, which were organised by word of mouth. People would be told where to gather, usually a car park in a suburb, and then told the real location for the picnic. It was all a bit cloak and dagger, but in those days, of course, it was necessary to be careful. And to be honest, it was probably adding to the fun that people felt, the sense of excitement that they felt when they were being called to this secret location, usually somewhere out in the hills. By the time everybody arrived at the secret location, they were geared up for a really good time. And they had one. Chicken and champagne, three-legged races, handbag tossing competitions, and usually Queen Victoria and her court would turn up to bring a touch of class to the proceedings. In the early 1980s, Mac and his friends were prepared to be a little more public than the Queen's birthday picnics had been. And one night, at his house in East Hawthorn, he and some friends decided to create also the Alternative Lifestyle Organisation. 10 years of gay activism in Victoria and Australia had created a very different kind of society, and so it was possible to be much more out and to celebrate more publicly than had been possible in the 1960s and through the 70s. So when the Alternative Lifestyle Organisation was formed, and the name is a bit closety, it nonetheless felt able to organise a much more public event, and so Gay Day was formed. The original plan was to organise the event to be held at the Junction Oval in St Kilda. But a week or so before it was due to go ahead, the organising committee of the Junction Oval decided against allowing it. A poofters convention, one committee member snorted. There was a bit of chaos and disorganisation, but a couple of months later it was possible to go ahead with Gay Day here at the Olympic Park. Everybody was invited. The venues, the social, the political, the community organisations, everybody was going to be there. And so it turned out. 14,000 lesbians, gay men and their friends turned up for a celebratory day. There were stalls, entertainment, sporting events. The point was to enjoy the day as much as possible. As well as Gay Day, also went on to become famous for organising dance parties, once or twice a year, usually held down at the Melbourne docks. Mac remained a force behind also for very many years, and although he was in fact a quiet achiever, he was nonetheless noticed, and today he and his partner Jeff are still included in the Melbourne Museum's Suburban Lives exhibition.